If I come home and I did my thing, I did parole, and I can't get a job because y'all saying, you a felon, we don't want you to do this, then the third. Yep. Okay, guess what I know how to do? Yeah. Back to the easy, bro.
And when you take drugs and guns and add poverty, like what do you think you're gonna get? You are the epitome of that, bro.
I'm just like, I can't be a woe is me dude.
Right. You know, did 2 years, came home, you killing it.
I still can't fathom how my mans was allowed to run and win the presidency. You should definitely care because I've made a lifestyle that a lot of people dream about through federal government contracting. And I built and developed that when I had to sit down for them 2 years.
Yo, welcome to the premiere episode of Crime Pays.
Yes, sir, Ski.
Yo, the podcast. Yo, I'm so excited. So first and foremost, I'm excited to be doing this with you.
Yeah.
Because we had one of your best episodes ever. No, I'm just joking. But
nah, you had to tell my son. Nah, you had to put my son on game in New Orleans.
Yeah.
You was like, yo, your pops do numbers.
Nah, he do numbers. So just so y'all know, if y'all watching it for the first time, I have a really popular podcast called Inside the Vault with Ash Cash. You know, Jay White was you know, one of my guests on there.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And when we connect, I mean, I think even before, but when we connected, our energy was
yeah. It wasn't an interview. It was a conversation.
It was a conversation.
And everybody in the comments could tell. They were like, yo, you been know him? I was like, nah, yo, I just met him for real.
Right.
But the vibe is there.
The vibe is there. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, since that episode, probably like 2 years ago, we realized that we had so much in common, right? It was like 2 years, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 years, bro. And so maybe, right? So it might be longer than that.
It might be.
It might be 21.
It might be.
Cause we're in 24. Yeah. So it might be 3 years.
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying? And so since that episode, you know, we realized we had a lot in common, a lot of the same passions.
Yeah, sure.
You know, you know, I'm connected to the reform system in so many different ways. You are as well.
More than I knew.
Right.
More than I originally knew.
Right.
The conversation kept coming out about, yo, Jay, I do this, I do that.
Yeah.
Like, I hear you, but I ain't put the full scope together on how deep you are into reform.
Yeah, I believe this is going to be the most important podcast out ever.
Yeah, that I've been a part of.
Yeah,
I've done that. The message is a real message.
Yeah,
the name is a flip.
Yeah,
it ain't Crime Pay. We gonna get into all.
Yeah, for sure.
The name is a flip, but more importantly, the story that goes out there of trial, tribulation, and then triumph. Yeah, that's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, that's the beauty of it. So let's start with you.
Yeah.
What's your affinity? What do you do in the reform space? Why do you care about our brothers and sisters that were behind the wall?
Yeah. So I mean, my sister is still locked up in the feds. I did 2 years. When you come home, it's a sense of I'm lost.
Yeah.
Even though everybody's excited that you back, but you lost. Your life was on pause for 2 years or however long anybody did. It was on pause.
Yeah.
When you come home, you like, yo, I can do this now. They got this technology.
Yep.
Oh, my mom moved. Like, it's a lot that has happened, and you on pause. So it's like, I'm thinking of it like, all right, where was the real reform at? Where was the helping me to get integrated back into society in any facet? Not just a job, but now I flip it over to just jobs. We know how difficult that still is. I still can't fathom how my mans was allowed to run and win the presidency, but we're gonna talk about that another.
Yeah, you got 34 felony.
Yeah. But it's crazy. So that right there.
But that might open the doors, though.
I mean,
if the president's a felon,
everybody should be good.
Facts.
Why do you care anymore?
Facts.
About the low level crime.
Facts, right?
You know what I mean? So all of that mixed in, I knew, and plus I've gained a platform. I gotta use it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what pushed my engine to keep it pushing.
And, I mean, yo, so for me,
you got books that talk about reform. You got books already in the prison system.
Yeah.
I've seen on your social media where you've spoke to at Atlanta, somewhere in Detroit. There, so what's making you go?
Bro, like my affinity comes just from Joe Biden, man. 94, bro. You know, I understand how the 94 crime bill just sort of like decimated our community.
Y'all better look it up. Look it up.
Yo, that 94 crime bill. So here's the deal, right? So I grew up in the projects. I'm raised from the streets. I'm raised by gangsters, right? I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't the guys in the street. So I don't glorify crime. I don't glorify, what people I believe had to do, right? There's some people that do stupid stuff, but when you start to listen, when you start to realize the conditions that we were put in, right? Meaning that guns were magically put into our neighborhoods, drugs were magically put into our neighborhoods, and when you take drugs and guns and add poverty, like what do you think you're gonna get?
You're right.
You get what I'm saying? And so again, I'm not excusing anybody for what they've done, but I also understand the circumstances that got us in it.
And you from Brooklyn or you from
Harlem?
You from Harlem?
Yeah, so I'm from Harlem, home of the hustlers. You know what I'm saying? And so home of Rich and Poe. You know what I'm saying? Home of Kevin Childs. So Kevin Childs, he'll tell you from the Bronx, but most people make it like Guy Fisher from the Bronx, but they came to Harlem to get their money. You get what I'm saying? So that's the era that I grew up in. You know what I'm saying? Meaning like when Richard Porter. God bless the dead. When Darnell, his brother, if y'all saw Paid in Full, Cut Off and all that, he's 12, I'm 12, so I'm Darnell age. You get what I'm trying to say? Yep. So when you think about us young running around, like that's my era. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so when I think about the law and order that was in the streets, right? Meaning gangsters did gangster stuff, but there was still we still respect elders. There was still this kind of respect. And then when the 94 crime bill comes, you start locking everybody up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Not just the people that had their hand in the work, but I'm talking about people who ain't had nothing to do with nothing. Yeah. They was just associated. So it decimated the neighborhood. It decimated the hood. And so a lot of my friends, because we was just stuck with no guidance, they got into the game. Yeah. And so by them getting into the game, as a teenager, I spent a lot of time visiting Rikers Island. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And so and even myself, like I never sold no drugs, but I played with illegal guns. I was one mistake away.
That was never a thing for me to go visit. Yeah. Even, just from my point of view, even though my peoples was getting locked up, I was like, nah, I'm good. Because once I started to see something like that, it already got a negative tone to me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Versus me looking at it the other way around. I'm showing love, I'm showing support, I'm letting them know ain't nobody forgetting them. Yeah. Until I was behind.
Right. And
I was like, I should have visited, showed love, showed support, and said, yo, we ain't forgot you. Yeah. But I didn't do it.
It's so crazy though, because even if like where I'm from, and I'm sure that's a lot of these different hoods, even if you never did time, you did time.
Yeah, for sure.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah, because it's funny, I was listening to something the other day, and if I ask, because you got the nice Balenciagas on, if I say yo Jay White, what size are those? Yeah. What you gonna say?
Yeah, my size.
Exactly. Yeah. or your size, right? Yeah. So the funny thing about it, that's jail culture though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so you're not even, you know what I'm trying to say? Like they taught us that. Like I'm talking about like in the streets. If I got some dope sneakers on, and somebody be like, yo, what size are, even if like, and this is how it came up. I was hooping or whatever. Yeah. And then it's just me as an adult. I'm hooping.
You swear you can hoop? Well, go ahead.
Yo, I get buckets, bro. I swear I get buckets. Right? So I'm hooping, and a dude asked like, yo, he was like, yo, what size are those? Yeah. And I automatically I said, yo, it's your size.
Right. Yeah. You know what it is?
Right? You know what it is? It's your size. Yeah. Because where I'm from, you don't ask nobody the size of their joint.
That's a trigger.
It's a trigger. You don't ask me that.
Yeah,
You feel me?
yeah.
And so for me, because we had we knew drug culture, jail culture. I understood that. Yo, if your man get locked up and and that's your man, like yo, you gotta, that's where everybody fall off. Like you gotta, be the one that's there. So I spent the, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been upstate once, up top once. Dudes writing, making sure commissary good. So even though I was never behind the wall, you know what I'm saying? I did bids with friends, you know what I'm saying? And so that was like my affinity to it. My wife, her dad has been he's still locked up right now. So he's been locked up most of her life, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? So she in her 40s. Yeah. So you kind of get like, yo, he's been behind the wall most of her life. 30-something years. Decades, you know what I'm saying? So now, my kids are, grandchildren of somebody behind the wall. And I used to, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I always just felt like I narrowly escaped. Yeah. And because I've had a great career, you know what I'm saying, like in banking, and I use the same skill set that I learned from the streets to get successful in corporate America. I always say
it's parallel.
Exactly.
I
always say that, yo, if you've ever been behind a wall, yo, you could, like, you have the skill set
do this right now.
Yeah. And you a testament of that, though.
Yeah, like the street savviness and business savvy is one and the same.
1,000.
Because you can tell who BSing you. Yeah. In the business world and in the street world.
Yeah, yeah.
In the business world, you can tell who really want to move forward. Yeah. And who don't. Yeah. In the street world, you can tell who got the bread and who don't. Like,
facts.
It's easy.
Facts.
Man, when you lateral over all that common sense and street sense and you come to the business world, it's just like, all right, I'm seeing right through you.
Facts. 1,000.
I'm gonna cut to the chase, and that's what I want to do. It's just the only learning curve is just certain terminology. Right. That's it. Right. Now, instead of everything is a handshake and we trust in your word, now I gotta get it documented.
Contract.
Like that was the only learning curve for me. I'm like, all right, I just can't take your word for it because he said he gonna do it. No. We need to write this down. We need to sign it. You get a copy, I get a copy, and now everything is for in the courtroom, not in the street.
Facts.
The only difference.
And we're going to talk about that, though, too, because I think, so a lot of our guests, I think that's, we're interviewing a lot of people who have been behind the wall. Yeah. And so they've been through their trials and tribulations. But we specifically wanted to highlight people that after they got out, they started to kill it.
What's the success like? Versus just being, woe is me, I'm another ticket, I'm another number.
I'm a statistic. And you know the crazy thing about it, because just going back to the 94 crime bill, I feel like the 94 crime bill is, and y'all gotta look it up, and it is actually a great documentary called 13 that highlights all of mass incarceration and how mass incarceration went from, I want to say 200,000 people were locked up prior to the 94 crime bill, and then that number jumped to 2 million. Right, so you 10x that number by this 94 crime bill that in simple forms took minor drug offenses and put mandatory minimums on them, right? And so now people who have drug addictions are behind the wall, and then even those who are selling like a small thing of crack. You know what I'm saying? So now you get this thing. But what is intriguing to me is even after they come home, there is something called collateral consequences. Okay. And collateral consequences are literally 40,000 laws that prohibit people who have a record to do. There's certain things that you cannot do.
That's crazy.
Once you get home, 40. I'm saying 40,000.
Yeah, that's great. That makes no sense.
There are 40,000 things that's like, nope, you can't do that. Nope, you can't do that. Meaning, like,
because essentially you're still telling me I'm still being charged. Still being punished. Yeah. You told me to do 15 years. You told me to do 10 years. I did my time. Yeah. Let me go.
They
won't. You know what I mean? Like that's the mental aspect of why people are repeat offenders.
Absolutely.
If I come home and I did my thing, I did parole, boom, and I can't get a job because y'all saying, you a felon, we don't want you to do this, then the third.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I know how to do.
Facts.
I'm back to it.
Yeah.
Back to the easy bread. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And then boom, I'm back behind there.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'm more comfortable out behind there than I'm in outside.
And that's why we call it crime pays, right? Because you got to think about it. Crime is paying.
Yeah.
But who is it paying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who is it paying? When you think about the collateral consequences, you think about Detroit, right? And this is something that I think about it all the time. Is at one time Detroit was a thriving city.
Yeah.
Right. Giving everybody jobs. Ford Motors. People don't realize that one of the reasons a lot of these major corporations started to close down is because they was taking their labor behind the wall. And so think about this, right? Think about this. If you're a corporation, right? And so let's say people who are free, you're paying them $8 an hour, $10 an hour, and you got you know what I'm saying? You're thriving. You close down all of these factories.
Yep.
You now transfer those factories to the jails. Yep. And now you're paying them 1 cent a day or 8 cents a day. You're not paying them nothing. You're doing the same job. Now, guess what? There is an incentive, and it's not no conspiracy. There is an incentive to lock more people up.
To build bigger facilities.
Build bigger facilities. There's a lot of corporations that get paid by us being behind the wall. And so when we say crime pays, it pays, but it's not paying you.
Yeah.
It's paying the big corporations. It's paying the private jail. It's like it's paying all these things. And so for us, we want to highlight, right, the ups and downs, right, of just living the life. But then, all right, now once you get out, hopefully, right, we can show you, right. So this is twofold. Number one, if you are somebody who's never been behind the wall, hopefully you hear these stories and you be like, yo, nah, I'm good. I don't want to do this. You know what I'm saying? Because I already got what it takes to be super duper successful. And then hopefully, if you are behind the wall on your way out, you can look at the examples that we're showing to be like, yo, this is what I'm gonna do.
It's me, shorty. Look at me. I'm not the end all be all story. But from the guests that we got, it's gonna have a common theme. Did something crazy. Or I did something, like you said earlier, out of necessity. I got caught. My mind never got broken because most of the people behind the walls, outside the weirdos and nut jobs, been hustlers, been entrepreneurs. So the hustle spirit is there. You just gotta challenge it the right way. And you got set down for 10 years, 11 years, 2 years, whatever it is. So now mentally, when you already got your game plan. And those the people that we highlight. We ain't doing it like how back in the day they did what's that joint? Cocaine Cowboys.
Right.
So as I'm watching Cocaine Cowboys, I'm like, damn, the way this dude telling his story, I want to do that. Because they made it fascinating to be a drug dealer. Scarface. They made it fast, even though he died and got killed. But they made it. Look how much money he was getting. Our man went from the cages and Cuba. Came over and
was man. Facts.
They glorified everything, and that's what I love about our new show, Crime Pays. We ain't glorifying that. We spinning that. We glorifying the triumph. Because now it's the legit.
And these are people who are killing on high level, bro.
They PS individuals, bro. I mean, so I'm excited.
I'm excited, bro. And so even with you, like, again, because I don't want to glaze over though. Like you are the epitome of that, bro. Like you.
What up? It's your man Jay White, first name, last name. I'm happy you're here. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. I want to welcome you to join the Crack the Code community, where I wrap my arms around you and teach you all the ins and outs of federal government contracting, the middleman or middlewoman way. In my community, on a weekly basis, you're going to get a Wednesday night call with me. You're going to get many courses and also training material. It's nothing like being in the community where everybody is joining hands, trying to learn the same process and get to this federal government contracting money. I'm gonna see you on the other side. Click that link right now.
You did 2 years, came home, and like you you killing it, bro. I don't put your business out here.
Yeah.
You get into it, bro.
I don't want to make it about me.
You get into it.
Yo, watch this. And shout out to you. We did the book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unconventional Paths to Success. And in that book, I go over a lot of the mindset things.
Yeah.
And I built and developed that when I had to sit down for them 2 years.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I can't be a woe is me dude.
Right.
I can't be all the world. No.
Right.
I know what I did.
Right.
I just got sloppy. Got caught. Okay, cool.
Right.
Now I'm back out here.
Right.
And that is the time that I had to, pull my pants up, tie my shoes tight, and be like, come on, man. Like, what you doing, dog?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you got to really figure this out, and you can do it.
Yeah.
And for me to go into a whole industry where most people can't figure out nothing.
Facts.
I've been dogging.
Yeah. So the industry you in, just because like everything. So we already know, right? There are, I'm just putting this into fruition, right?
Yeah.
There are millions of new people who never heard of Ash Cash, who never heard of Jay White.
Yeah.
They saw a trailer, right? They saw a trailer and they see all the guests that we got, and they like, yo, this joint fire.
Yeah.
I want to see it. So.
But we got to tell them who we are.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. You know what I'm saying? So who is Jay White?
Yo.
Like why they even care, bro?
I'm Jay White, first name, last name, bro.
Yeah.
I'm from Norfolk, Virginia, 2 up, 2 down. You should definitely care because I've made a lifestyle that a lot of people dream about through federal government contracting, getting contracts residually, doing something one time, getting money month after month after month, and being highly successful, right? So, and watch this. I'm gonna do this. I barely graduated high school.
Facts.
I graduated with a 1.9 GPA.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hate to read. I got a book, but I hate to read.
Facts.
And I don't got no patience. All of those skill sets you have to be highly successful in federal government contracting.
Yeah.
And I did it because I just ain't no quitter.
Yeah.
I started it. I might as well see it through.
Yeah.
And once I understood the process and started to see it through, I'm like, oh no, I'm nice at this joint.
Yeah.
I'm nice. You know what I mean? So when you picking up a skill set, just like we talked about earlier, a lot of people already got the skill set.
Yeah.
How you lateral that over into something that may not necessarily, federal government contract, not my passion.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something I say, oh, I'm passionate about it. Let me start it.
Yeah.
No, it's not my passion.
Yeah.
But I'm really good at it, and it pays very well.
Yeah, facts.
I'm gonna knock it out.
Yeah,
You know what I
facts.
mean?
Yeah.
All right, so that's who I am.
Yeah.
But it ain't about me no more.
Yeah.
Who is Ash Cash? Yo, hold on, watch this.
Yeah.
You know, the first time I physically met you, yo, so I seen the show, somebody was like, yo, you should get on Ash Cash show. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I should get on the show.
Yeah.
Right, like that's how I talk. You know what I mean?
Right.
But shout out to Shans. Shans had a event where he was just bringing a lot of people in that did good numbers on his joint.
Yeah.
So I'm walking through the joint, and I seen you. You had a boot on your foot.
Oh, yeah. Because I was hooping.
Because he said,
I was hooping.
I think he was walking down the steps. And I was like, yo, man, what's good?
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, man, what's good? I said, yo, I should get on the show. I said it just like that.
Yeah.
He was like, nah, let's put it in the works.
Yeah.
So instantly I was like, nah, man, this is my type of guy right here.
Yeah, for sure.
So you telling people who you are.
Man.
Ash Cash.
Yo, Ash Cash, the financial motivator, the hip-hop financial advisor, kid from Harlem, NYC, man.
Yeah.
I'm from Harlem, home of the Hustlers, 129th, 8th Avenue, St. Nicholas Project. You already know what it is. Man, same thing, man. You know, I grew up in a single parent home. I'm the youngest of 3. The streets raised me. I got kicked out of school 4 times. 1st grade, 5th grade, 9th grade, expelled in the 10th grade. All for fighting. My knuckles still, my hands still work. But I was, angry guy, product of my environment.
Yeah.
Really decided that, but my OGs, man, salute to all of my OGs, man, from the Nick who, and my basketball coaches who made sure that I wasn't going to go down that route. Yeah. And so I was protected at a high level. So I've seen crime at a high level. I'm talking about like the guys who ran my projects are all from my building. I was cool with with they nephews and cousins. So I was in there seeing all that stuff. I seen dead bodies at 11, 12 years old. People pistol whipped and stripped and all that as a youngin. So shootouts, like when we was young, like the drug game was heavy. So there'd be shootouts in the projects on 8th Avenue. We running towards the shootouts and all that. But my OGs helped me stay out of the streets. At 19 years old, I became a banker. I was a teller at a bank, did everything in banking from teller to personal banker, private banker, branch manager. I was a CEO of a credit union. I started writing books to teach people about money, and so I've written 17 books. And literally, as I started to write books, a lot of people who were behind the wall would read my books, and they would really just say, "Yo, I love what you're doing." In fact, funny story. Salute to Kevin Childs, Tiffany Childs. They're the publishers of Don Diva magazine. So anybody behind the wall who know Don Diva magazine know me through Don Diva because I had a column. They had given me a column called Ask Ash Cash, and so every month, right? So I would be in the Don Divas magazine, and I would promote my book. So that's how people from behind the wall knew me. But yeah, I'm super successful though, so I'm not downplaying that. I've my podcast Inside the Vault has been seen over 10 million times. Videos. My audio downloads are 1.4 million. As an entrepreneur, I've generated millions of dollars, as an entrepreneur. And, I'm just somebody who, I never forget where I'm from though. You know what I'm saying? And I understand, a lot of people tell me like, yo, man, you so humble or you this. And to be honest with you, I just know where my blessings come from, and I know the responsibility I have, right? I know that my responsibility, like God didn't allow me to be financially free to build wealth just so I could, go to Jamaica on an island with my feet up sitting my ties and then I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? I could, but at the end of the day, and I enjoy the luxuries of life, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I have this saying, right? We're all made in the image and likeness of the Most High God, and the only way you prove God is by being greatness on display, G-O-D, right? Small G. And so for me, for you, for the people we're highlighting, we all gods. We all greatness on display, and the only way we could save our community, right? Because I watch a lot of documentaries and stuff, and I'm watching what the jail culture, what hip hop is doing to our youngins though. You get what I'm saying? Like this drill rap, it's reversing it to the point where I'm watching these young guys, 14, 15, 16 getting killed. You know what I'm saying? And they not, and I'm not saying get killed over money is or drugs is more justifiable. But y'all not even dying for nothing, bro. Like y'all dying because of disrespect or where somebody from.
Over the lyrics in the block they own. Like, you don't even own a house on that block. But you repping and saying this is my block. Ain't nothing about this block.
It's facts.
But that's what's happening, right? Like you said, the music is now reversing it, because remember when our era we used to dog women in our music, right? That was our just dogging women. Okay, cool. Gangster rap came out and it was like dogging women. Like, all right, this how you talk to them.
Right.
So we learn a lot through the music that we listen to. So now as the eras have changed, now these individuals are basically saying you don't got no real cred as a rapper if you ain't did what? Went to jail. That's backwards.
Facts.
That's backwards. Right. So like, why do I gotta go to jail to put out good music?
Right. If you ain't go to jail, if you ain't spit on them. Like, come on.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
And the fact that the music industry pushes that is because that's what's selling.
That's what's selling, and they have a finance. I talked about this in one of my other podcasts. Is that if you understand the way life insurance work, life insurance has what's called a key man's insurance policy, which means that if, let's say, you and I have a business together, and you a key man in the business, I could take out a life insurance policy on you, and vice versa. You can take a life insurance policy on me because your life affects the business,
Yep.
right? So think about that from a hip hop label perspective.
Yeah.
If you are a hip hop label, right? If you are one of these big labels
Yep.
and you sign an artist, and then that artist is the person making the money, and you're investing all this money. If that person dies, you could take out a life insurance policy on them.
That's crazy.
And that life insurance policy pays them. So and you can look this up, right? Rest in peace, King Von. When King Von passed away, the record label, I want to say, got between $7 to $10 million.
That's crazy. Off of his death.
Off of his death. And so, I mean, just think about this. There is an incentive for them to sign rappers who are going to kill themselves. Why? Because that's what's selling.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And so if you are selling this poison to the neighborhood and through the airwaves, you're going to get millions and millions of views. You're going to make millions of dollars. The label wins.
The label wins.
If you wind up dying and the label gets a life insurance policy and get millions of dollars, the label wins.
That's crazy.
And so why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they perpetuate, whatever that word is? Why wouldn't they perpetuate, violence?
Violence.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember watching a Breakfast Club interview, and Charlemagne was talking to Leo Cohen's, and he was asking him like, yo, why are you pushing this and you know what it does? He was like, yo, aren't you, like, Charlemagne asked him, like, aren't you being hypocritical? He was like, no. He's like, yo, I'm opportunistic, yes.
Yeah.
But but I'm like, yo, so y'all know this, though. Y'all know that the music is poisoning our neighborhood.
Yeah.
But
they ain't doing
at the same time, y'all are benefiting either way.
Because they not going to change it.
Right, facts.
Because just think about this. A lot of people sold drugs because they going to say somebody else going to sell it.
Yeah.
Somebody else going to bring it to our neighborhood. It might as well be who? It might as well be me.
Yeah.
So it's the same type of mindset. Somebody else going to glorify that music and benefit from it.
Yeah.
Let my label be ahead of it and do it.
Yeah, 1,000%. 1,000%. So
we finna go crazy.
Yeah, we gonna go crazy. We gonna go crazy. And again, this is the reason why I feel like this is gonna be one of the most important projects I've been a part of. Yeah. Because I think at the end of the day, what it's going to do is, again, all of our brothers and sisters who are coming home, this is going to give them, real life, actionable steps for them to take for them to be successful.
We packaging up steps for when you come home mentally,
facts,
physically,
facts,
to know what to do and what to go through,
facts,
in a successful manner.
Yeah.
This package that we doing called Crime Pays is going to be literally a blueprint to just get back to it legit way. Yeah. And ain't nothing gonna be better than that.
Man, and at the end of the day, I believe that it's our obligation, right, as people who are from that cloth, and we actually know how to get to it. You know what I'm saying? The people we bringing on know how to get to it. So you watching this, you gonna learn how to get to it, right? So this is both preventative, right? Again, if you've never been behind the wall and you want to hear the stories and you want to know how it ends up and you want to be like, yo, you know what? Like, why I even got to do that?
Yeah.
Let me just get into trucking. Yeah. Let me just get into government contract. Let me write book.
Yeah.
Let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me get into the life insurance business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let me, whatever it is that a lot of the guests that we're bringing, let me get into real estate.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever it is our people that are doing. Let me get into health. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we got some bangers, we got some powerful stories, and I just believe this is gonna change lives. So make sure y'all like, y'all subscribe, y'all tell a friend to tell a friend. Crime Pays, the podcast, Ash Cash, Jay White, man, we gonna
pop bottles, pop champagne. The first episode, it went down. We here, we ain't going nowhere. It's going to be very beneficial and take off. We're impregnating the minds to have success when you come home, and ain't nothing better than that message.
Let's go, y'all. Crime Pays, y'all. Tap in, tune in. Let's go.